Hello everyone, this is Mel Alzate, MBA student at Webster University in the Introductory Project Management course with Alan Paradise. And we're going to be discussing today my project, SM Medical Staffing Up and Running. And we'll be presenting my project and its duration through the project life cycle. We'll begin by discussing the project initiation. Then we'll go on to project planning and how we went about planning it. Then the execution of the project and project closure and termination. But before we start discussing the project life cycle in each stage, I'd like to give a little bit of a background of why and what are the objective of this project is. We want to put into operation a temporary medical staffing agency for nurse hires to staff New York City hospitals. We need to meet the legal and industry requirements to operate as a temporary medical staffing agency. And after obtaining a suitable location with the proper operating infrastructure, the company will become a contender in obtaining government contracts. And within the first year of business, we're looking to hire 200 nurses. That translates to generating a grossing monthly income of $280,000. Now we're going through the initiation conceptualization stage and how this project actually began. Owner-operator Christopher Medici, a retired commodities broker, became retired as a result of the economic crisis in 2008. So he decided to go to nursing school because at the time, nursing and medical industry was booming and that's where the jobs were. So after completing nursing school, the industry kind of like took a hit and nursing became very competitive. Nursing recruiter Carmen Sosa was one of the individuals that Christopher had met with when he was looking for temporary work. Developed a relationship with her. Finally, she confided and she voiced her frustrations with her current employer. So Chris, being from Wall Street and seeing the value of the agency and seeing how lucrative that business could be, he realized if he put 30 years of his Wall Street experience combined with her 30 years plus of medical staffing experience, that they could establish a good business. So what's our project scope? The project will deliver a suitable location with the appropriate operations infrastructure for SM Medical Staffing Incorporated to do business with potential nurse hires, local hospitals, and local governments while meeting industry compliance standards. So we needed to define the requirements of the project. And this is the stage in which we define those between the initiation and planning. So what are our requirements and what are the deliverables that we need from the project? Well, we need to obtain an adequate location to interview and process potential nurse hires according to the legal and industry standards. We'd have to have a fresh coat of paint, clean the office, take measurements, so we can install office furniture with computers and scheduling software and printers. We'd have to install communications, wireless internet, and telephone lines for each station. We'd have to decorate the office in a professional and inviting manner. So when people came into the office, they would see, they would feel comfortable, and they would want to work for our agency. Then we'd have to also hire new employees for new departments that were going to be established: administrative, accounting, scheduling, and compliance verification departments. So we began to plan. So we said, the first thing we'd have to do is lease a new location, and this location would have to be move-in date by October 1st. All office furniture and computers the delivery of such deliverables would be after obtaining the rental. Telephone lines, internet, and Wi-Fi will be installed. And company website would be created before the 1st or somewhat after the 1st of October. And hire new employees by a deadline of October 16th, 17th. So we use our work breakdown structure to help us organize this, and we did this using Project Manager. And we had a deadline beginning from October 1st, which would be the ideal date of signing the lease, and finishing on October 17th. On October 1st, we allocated 2 hours to signing the lease, obtaining it, and then another 3 hours to cleaning it. And that was going to be assigned to Resources Melchizedek, Carmen, and Christopher. We'd also be taking measurements and coming back to make a decision on what colors we're going to paint. And we allocated 4 days, a little over 4 days, to the painting of the office. That includes selecting the colors, scheduling the painting. Then we moved on to office furniture. And we can see that we had how the breakdown followed through: office furniture, shopping list. But we couldn't order any office furniture until the office was painted and until the office was actually rented. So basically everything that followed on after the office furniture, computers, installation of communications, office supplies, shopping list, all of this stuff was pending upon renting that office and signing the lease. So we would decorate the office, then we would hire employees, and part of hiring employees, we'd have to take job inventories that would be assigned by Carmen Sosa, who had 30 some odd years of medical experience, agency medical experience. She would know, and she would write down, document what department responsibilities were and what each job responsibility had. Then we'd have to post openings, and that was going to be done by Migdalia Acevedo. And we outsourced a technology expert who was going to upload all the software and who was going to help us with the installation of the computers. Posting the openings, interviewing the candidates was going to be done by Carmen and Christopher. We were going to train new employees. We were going to run a trial run for opening of business by the 14th, which was a Friday. And then we should have been finished by October 15th and ready and open for business on October 17th. And this was a brief diagram of our network activity. Rent the office, and we allocated 2 hours. I was going to start on October 1st, follow through with cleaning, taking office measurements, painting the office, and this was a good way to view if we had any contradictions, were bogging anybody down, and how the flow of the schedule was going to go. Installation of software, install printers and fax, hire employees, and then follow through until we finally open for business. And this Gantt chart was an amazing tool to help us look at if there were any conflicts in the schedule with over allocating resources to certain tasks. And we pretty much didn't have any alerts. Everything flowed nice and easy. It was a beautiful plan coming together. And then it happened. A scope change. And on September 25th, about 1 week prior to when we were supposed to be moving in, Christopher Medici and Carmen Sosa decided that we were going to be changing the location. There was going to be a new office location. So that changed everything. Now the project is now at best 1 month behind schedule, since new rental location negotiations have not been concluded. Upper management has not been able to meet with the landlord. Possibility of losing the new rental is a risk, because if we don't obtain it within a certain time frame, there's a chance of losing it altogether. So our execution stage in our life cycle is put on hold until we obtain a office, sign a lease. Everything's on hold. As a result, the termination and closure of the project has not been closed. It's on hold as well. It's been delayed, be pushed back. So where are we now? Current status and open issues. The new project site will ensure that there is a managerial presence at all times and will reduce the initially monthly rental overhead by 50%. Carmen Sosa, owner, manager, we found an office available in the lobby of her building, so it would be easy for her to drop down into the office at any time. And also, in comparison to the other rentals that we had looked at, we realized that there would be a 50% less overhead on our rental expense, which is very important when you're beginning a business. Carmen Sosa has had some personal family emergencies, and that has interfered with finalizing the lease terms with the new landlord. So as a result, there's been a delay in selection of ordering the furniture and any services to build office infrastructure. This setback will push the project back further than a month and may risk losing the rental location altogether, as said before. But once the new rental agreement has been negotiated, crews are planning to make up for lost time by working through weekends and extended hours. So as of now, the project is put on hold indefinitely. So changes are coming. More changes are coming. We have a great project plan in place. We had a simulation done, by running this project through Project Manager. And we are looking forward to opening up and ready for business as soon as that lease gets signed. And here we are. My name is Melchizedek Alzate. I want to say thank you very much for observing my presentation. Melchizedek Alzate, Webster University. Have a great day.